There are things you know are absolutely true, but you still find a way not to believe them. You know the relationship isn't working. You know you're spending too much. You know you need to leave. And yet somehow your mind gives you a reason to wait. It's not that bad. I'll do it tomorrow. Maybe they'll change. I just need more time. The strange part is that you rarely catch yourself in the act of doing this. You don't realize you are lying to yourself, because the most convincing lies you will ever hear are the ones delivered in a voice that sounds exactly like your own. Your brain is attempting to execute two different jobs at the exact same time. It wants to map objective reality, but also protect the person you believe you are. Sometimes those two goals collide. Accepting objective truth can mean admitting you are wrong, that a plan failed, or that you aren't who you thought you were. When forced to choose between painful truth and a comfortable identity, the mind protects the ego and lets reality shatter. Instead of changing your belief about yourself, your mind simply changes the story. Imagine you consider yourself a highly responsible person, but you just spent money you didn't actually have. Psychologists call the resulting friction cognitive dissonance. Two incompatible ideas vibrate inside your head. I'm responsible, and I made an irresponsible decision. To ease the pain, your mind invents a bridge to make them fit. I deserved a treat, or I'll easily make it back next month. The actual spending behavior hasn't changed, but the internal story has. You suddenly feel like the same responsible person again. We would rather invent a complex, distorted excuse than accept a flaw in how we see ourselves. Now, scale that friction up to a life-altering decision, like realizing a long-term relationship is actively hurting you. People will stay for years after they know it's over. They fixate on the good days, the old promises, the fleeting moments of perfection. Maybe this time will be different. We've been through too much to give up now. The sunk cost trap turns history into a physical weight. Accumulated past investment piles up, crushing the trajectory of your future. Walking away feels like admitting it was for nothing. But the time, money, and opportunities missed are gone. None can be recovered by continuing. When your mind refuses to accept a loss, it treats the history of your past as a cage for your future. Once you adopt one of these self-preserving beliefs, your brain goes to work making it permanent. Confirmation bias functions as a lens between you and reality. It takes in neutral data points, but only recolors and accepts the ones matching your story. Repeat this filtered interpretation enough times, and it stops feeling like a choice. It feels entirely natural. Eventually, you aren't defending a belief anymore. You are living entirely inside it. The absolute danger of self-deception is its camouflage. It never sounds like a lie. It sounds like perfectly logical reasoning. I work better under pressure. I'm just waiting for the right moment. I could do it if I wanted to. We use our own intelligence to construct beautifully engineered intellectual walls, allowing us to maintain our worst behaviors while believing we're still in control. Shattering that illusion requires an honest test of your own beliefs. Start by asking, what evidence would actually make me change my mind? If the answer is nothing, pay attention. Then take the exact situation you are in and project it on someone you deeply love. What advice would you give them? We are almost always honest about someone else's life. If you wouldn't accept the excuse from a friend, your own defense mechanisms are active. Exposing these lies doesn't mean you have to be brutally negative with yourself. The goal isn't to fight your own mind. Your brain is not malicious. It is simply trying to offer you a version of reality that causes you the least amount of pain. It builds a protective shell to keep you safe. You can lie to other people, and eventually they might discover the truth and correct you. But when you lie to yourself, you are completely isolated from course correction. True self-awareness requires stepping out from behind your ego to ask the hardest question of all. Not, am I right? But, what if I'm wrong? What are you telling yourself that you already know isn't true?